Hey guys, and welcome to my Dragon Link build, and this is my most updated version of Dragon Link. And Dragon Link is back to the top tier again, and it also took first in the 3v3 LCS 10, so that's also great.
I told you!
And this is my deck profile. So as you can see, I'm not playing like a 50 card deck or anything. It's just plain 40 because it's not like a VFD turbo kind of deck. It's mainly focused on making multiple negates and on countering the current meta. So cards like Seal and Dragon Maid Tidying have been added in to get those bounces so you can easily counter Virtual World and all of those, because if you bounce back the Chuche and the Nyan and the targets for the Virtual World monsters basically, then you can easily counter the deck. So this is basically my deck profile, and it does very good against the current meta decks, the top tier decks, and I would rate Dragon Link like a solid tier 1.5 right now. It's not quite as good as Dryton, Eldritch, and Virtual World, but it's close behind, that's all I can say. So this deck is also inspired off of Gabriel Netz's first place. So this is the deck profile, and I also have combos after this, so make sure to check those out. So this number 68 is also in this deck, and this card completely destroys Drytron. So this just countering meta, and the side deck is also built to counter most of the top tier meta decks right now. So that's basically the deck profile. You can take a look at it, and let's get into the combos next. The only bad thing about this deck, in my opinion, is that it loses to Nibiru.
Activate LP!
Be sure to subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to support me and the channel. So for the first combo, it's basically a one card combo, and you just need a starter. But if you want an additional interruption, you can also use Chamber and a Noctivision, so you can get that extra tidying. So first off, you're going to normal summon your Chamber and search your tidying. And then you can link off into Striker Dragon, and you can use your in my case it's Noctivision, so you can just use your extender. But if it was just Chaos Space or Seyfert, you don't need the extender, you can just do Romulus, but you won't have that tidying. That's the only thing. So now you have Romulus, and in my case it's Noctivision, so I'm not gonna draw one, but you should draw one right now. And then you can search your Dragon Ravine. So now you can activate Ravine, and I actually forgot to mill Apsarouter Dragon. So Apsarouter searches Tracer. You mill Apsarouter with Ravine, but I just forgot to do it right now. So it's just my mistake. You have to actually do that to search Tracer. So now activate Boot Sector and summon out your Tracer to the field. And use Tracer and pop the Boot Sector and summon your Recharger. So now link your Recharger into LP and link your Tracer into Guard Dragon Pisty. And now you can use LP effect and summon Brotar from your deck. You can use Brotar and discard and search your Lavinier. So now you can banish your Tracer and two other Darks and summon your Lavinier and hand rip one from the opponent. You can banish Tracer because you're going to get it back with Pisty's effect anyway, so it's kind of like you're banishing it for free. So now link Romulus and Brotar into your Seal, and now you can bring back Tracer with Pisty, and then link the Guard Dragon into Delingerous, link Lavinier and Tracer into Quad Burrow. Use Quad Burrow effect, discard a card, and pop the Dill, and bring back two rockets from your grave. The only two you have are Recharger and Tracer, and now that'll trigger Delingerous and will come back from the grave. So you can link Quad Burrow and Delingerous into Unchained Abomination, and synchro your rockets into Savage. So Savage will have two counters, and you can also set the tidying. So you have two bounces up to one to two pops using Unchained, and you also have the Savage Omni negate. So during opponent's turn, you can use Seal effect and bounce. And since Seal was tributed, you can use its effect and summon a dragon from your deck. So just summon whichever dragon you need for next turn, so you will see why in a second. So let's say I wanted Rocket Synchron for next turn. So then I can now use Dragon Maid Tidying and return it to my hand. So I basically added a dragon from my deck to my hand for next turn. and that's also another bounce. So that's 2 bounces, and you can also add that rocket to your hand. And you also have the Unchained Abomination and Savage on top of all of that. So the second combo is more like a real life typical hand, and for this combo you will need any starter, any rocket, and any extender. So it's a 3-card combo, and there's many ways to do it because there's multiple of each of the things you need to perform the combo. So I'm just gonna use Seyfert, Tracer, and Noctivision. So now I'm gonna use Seyfert and get into Romulus basically. So Black Dragon and White Dragon, and it's really easy to do this. So you can just use your Black Dragon and then go into Striker Dragon, and then you go Chainlink 3 as Noctivision because you don't want to get ashed on any of the other 2. So you can search your boot. You can summon your Noctivision, search boot, and you can also search White Dragon. So at this point you can link them off into Romulus, and the great thing about Noctivision is it chain blocks like twice. So it's really good. It's a really good card in general. And now you also have the chain block Dragon Ravine, so he can't ash your Romulus. So now you draw the card and with Noctivision, and the Noctivision I have in hand right now is just any random discard. So you can just discard it. It doesn't matter what you draw, just discard. And then you mill your Apsarautor Dragon and use its effect to search Rocket Tracer if you don't have it, but you need Tracer in hand and 1 other rocket. That's what you need. So just search the rocket you don't have, and if you don't have Tracer, you have to search Tracer. So now use Boot Sector Launch and summon Tracer and the other rocket that you have. It can be Recharger as well, it doesn't matter. Now you can summon your White Dragon out and link Tracer and White Dragon into Halqifibrax and use its effect to summon another Synchron from the deck. In my case, I have 2 Synchrons, but you can also have Recharger. So link your Romulus and Hulk into Appaloosa, and it'll have 2 negates. So link your Synchron into LP and use its effect and summon Brotar. And Brotar can now use its effect to add the Lavineer to your hand. So now you can go ahead and link your Brotar into Guard Dragon Pisty, and Pisty can use its effect and bring back Rocket Tracer from the grave. So now you can link your Guard Dragons into Delingirus, and you can use Tracer's effect to pop Boot and summon Recharger or Synchron, the one you don't have. So now use Tracer and Recharger, and now use into Quad Burrow, pop Dill, and it will summon back Tracer and Recharger, and Dillinger's effect will summon it back from the graveyard. So now you can synchro your Recharger and Tracer into Chaos Ruler and use its effect and add a light or dark. I just added Driver because I didn't want to search any extenders. Don't add Driver, but just mill the rest, and it doesn't matter what you add really. So you just get the +1 there. And then you can synchro your Ruler and Synchron into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Now banish a light and dark from your graveyard, so White Dragon is still in the grave, and summon your Ruler back. And now you can, you still have the Lavineer in your hand, so you can now go ahead and banish Synchron, Pisty, and Brotar. Doesn't matter, just the things that are not significant. You just banish those, and you can summon your Lavineer and hand rip one from the opponent. And now you can go ahead and overlay your Lavineer and Ruler into number 68. It can also be Hope Harbinger if you want. And you can detach the Ruler. So the Ruler was supposed to be banished, but it'll go to the grave, so that's good. And your opponent cannot special summon from the graveyard for the rest of the turn. That's amazing, and it's a great counter to Dryton. Now link Quad and Delingirus into Unchained Abomination, and that's basically your end board. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.